Now, okay, yeah, you went black. That's weird. Okay.
So now do we have to do these settings all over again?
Yeah,
So
go
like,
under your clap cam, change to like your video source or your clap cam or something like that. Cause
there you go. I switched it back.
do you see me or do I see? I don't see you yet. Do you see me?
No, hold on. Let me double click again. What did I set mine to? Face cam, right? Or was it collab
It
cam?
was clap cam.
For just for you to see, for you to see
Yes.
me.
Yep.
Okay. So can you see me now?
No.
Oh, what
uh,
is happening?
I wonder if we went live, it took over our camera, and that's why it's kind of having a hard time sharing it.
But then if that's the case, why did it add a source before it should have added the source when we were actually live then if that's the case that it's having these issues?
Oh, you actually left. You're no longer part of my thing. That's what happened.
Oh.
When you went live, you disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not connected up there.
Yeah.
Wait, but it says on my screen it says I'm connected to you though.
Oh, you're not showing up on mine. That's what happened. That's weird. Okay.
So I wonder if I join that link again through Discord if it will
While you're
there's
live,
just
and see if that does anything.
yeah.
There you are. There you are.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I have to do back yours.
Can you see me? Because I had the computer popped up for mine. So can you see me?
Join stream. There, I got you.
All right. We're good. So basically, when we go live, it boots us off. You just have to reconnect. It looks like you have to reconnect it.
I have to do it again. Okay.
All right.
Holy cow.
I know. Hopefully, people don't quit after they jump in. They're like, "This is garbage," and then just leave because like these two idiots don't know what they're doing. So
It's so it should be you would think it would be just straightforward like you send me the link, I hit it,
hmm
the source is there, just go. But
right.
it's not as simple as it is, apparently.
All right. Well, we got it. We got it.
Hooray.
In that case, then I should probably. Yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta go start something. So.
Yep, you're good. Let me see if I can get this right. There. We'll lock that source for now. Hopefully all is right and everything is going through good. Let me see. I'm gonna mute myself here to see if this is all going through.
Okay. Let's do this. We are
Making
live.
sure the stream will hear both of us.
Okay. Let's see. We good? We good? We good?
Okay.
Yay.
Jace is gonna join in just to make sure everything sounds copacetic, but I have you put up on the chat and I see everything and we should be okay.
Yep. All right. It took us an hour and 10 minutes, but we got it. Hopefully
We
next time
got it.
we'll. Well, now we kind of have an idea. Like we'll use Discord as our
Oh, look who
voice.
joined the chat. Two dum dums trying to figure this out, Hannah.
Yeah, basically we are. We're just like, dit.
Yeah, it's not as easy as people think it is. Like to get this up and running. I don't know why this is being so difficult, but yeah.
No, we had to.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we had to use Discord for voice, and then we're using Streamlabs for video, and after that, it's just like, well,
Right. But yeah, we are doing a podcast right now. Well, here I'll let Phil explain.
yeah. So this is episode 15 of the podcast about video games, and we are talking about the 2024 year in review for the games industry, all that fun stuff. Since we're pretty much on the tail end of the year, we might as well talk about like pros, cons, our thoughts of how was 2024 this year, and stuff like that. Maybe take a glimpse into do we think 2025 is going to be, and stuff like that. So, I guess we'll start off like we always do. Like, so what have you been playing? What's new with you?
Man, I've been kind of all around the board lately. I'm trying to fix this damn chat window and it is horrible, but I'll fix that later. Um, Let me see. What have I been playing as of lately? Let's see. Oh, nice. I have to go drop my kids off my mom, but I'll be back. Okay. Be safe. Thank you, Chase. Chase is in here too. He said he could hear both of us loud and clear, so I appreciate you, homie. Thank you very much. Lately I've been playing. Let's see. I played the first two chapters of Soul Reaver.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get back into that when that first dropped a couple weeks ago. Off stream, I've been playing a lot of Zenless Zone Z, or people just call it ZZZ.
Hmm.
Um,
Don't know if I know about that.
it's like one of those gacha games. By the Hoyoverse, people who made like Genshin Impact and stuff like that. I
Okay.
normally don't play those ones, but this one's I just like the combat and like it's a bunch of mini games inside of the game for you to play that allows you to unlock all these characters. It's just something to kill time when I'm like don't know what to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I play that, and then just like 2 weeks ago, I finally platinum with the help of Mr. Day and Spray, Alan Wake, the remaster. So that was a fun segue into that. So and I just re-downloaded PUBG. So that's what I've been playing lately.
Okay.
And right after you left, Phil, fun fact.
You died.
No,
Man.
not only did I die, but then I started the next match. But guess what happened? Not only did we win one, two, freaking three back to back.
Oh, so you're the last man standing or last group?
No, the whole squad. Yeah, we did it 3 times in a row and almost did a fourth time.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing lately. What about yourself?
Let's see. So, Black Ops 6, of course, dropped in October, so I was excited for the new Zombies mode, which is actually back to kind of how what made it popular and everything. The
Okay.
round base, the fun stuff, the survival. So that's been fun. I'm trying to think, what did I play earlier? Oh, Astrobot, of course. That is actually was a lot of
Yes.
fun game. My
Yep.
wife and I really enjoyed that. And the fact that they've been giving free DLCs this year has been making it a lot more fun to go back and play it and everything.
hmm
So I still have not platinumed it, but I'm close. There's like 2
Okay.
levels that I need to finish. They're like the last two hard levels where it's just like speed and everything. Uh, what else have I been playing? Well, with you, of course, Outlast Trials, and
Yes, yes.
like I did jump into Fortnite because I want that Baymax skin, so I've been grinding that.
hmm
And then earlier this year, I'm trying to think. Oh, Final Fantasy VII, of course. Can't forget Rebirth. So I did a
Yes.
lot of hours of that earlier this year. So, I mean, it's. And there's a few games that I. So the new game that came out that I still want to try to play is that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I've heard has gotten really good reviews.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah, it's getting like 9 out
Yeah.
of 10. And everybody says it's really fun. So I have it
Did
because I got it on Game
but
Pass,
you
but
just haven't played it
I
yet?
haven't started yet. No, and I'm like, oh, it looks like it's a lot
Okay.
of fun.
Gotcha.
But yeah, other than that, it's been kind of sporadic in terms of like, we play a game, something comes along, then we kind of play something else. And I think Astrobot is probably the first game I've actually completed from beginning, because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I still have not actually completed the full story. I've been too busy kind of side questing, getting all this other stuff before I go and finish the story. So I don't know. I probably should go back and do that because I did finish Remake, but I haven't finished Rebirth.
Okay.
So it's like, But yeah, unfortunately, not much for the Switch. Switch has been kind of quiet this year. I think Super Mario Wonder was probably the only game that I played through completely, which is a
Okay.
lot of fun too. That's a fun Switch game.
Nice. Okay. Where is let me see. Isn't there a way to flip? Is it flip vertical or flip horizontal? Because right now I hate that stupid thing in Streamlabs. Is
I
it
think. Oh, you want it horizontal
oh
then?
shit. Nope. I just fucked up my thing. Transform, flip vertical, and then flip horizontal. There you go. I hate when it does that. I don't know why it does that on this one. Horizontal. There you go. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
So
you're
okay.
looking at your mirrored self basically.
I
Hmm.
hate that.
Yeah.
Especially like when I'm looking at myself, I like go like this, but it's like on this side. I'm like,
Yep.
don't do that.
Just.
um. So yeah, no, that's what's up. Yeah, you got to find some time to play that Indiana Jones because I also heard good things about it. I seen it when it was on not not the Game Awards, but on the last podcast when we were looking at like, was it the Xbox showcase?
It was, yes.
I think it was the Xbox showcase when I seen it. It looked it really good, and I also heard good things about it as well. So we definitely gotta, or you gotta play that.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I wouldn't say 2024 was like a terrible year in gaming. It was just, it felt like, because 2023 felt kind of, well, 22 and 23 felt slow. Like there weren't really great stuff. Everything got pushed like 24, and then 24 is here. Now stuff are getting pushed to 25. I'm hoping that we're finally getting back on the cadence where nothing's really being too delayed too much and getting kicked
Mm-hmm.
down the road for like, oh, it's supposed to come out 25, but now we're kicking it down to like quarter three or 25. You're like, come on, and
Right.
stuff like that. But overall, I think we had a good set of games. I mean, we had some good expansions. You had Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree came out,
Yep.
which is a lot of fun. I still need to finish that too. But um, overall, I think it definitely kept us occupied. And we weren't just kind of
Oh,
sitting around going through like our backlog again. Like, well, there's nothing to play. I might as well just deal with my
for sure.
backlog.
Yep. No, I did the exact same thing because I streamed my initial playthrough of Elden Ring on stream, and so then when the DLC dropped, I was actually like, oh shit, I can go back and actually stream this game again.
Hmm.
So and now with the VGAs, like now I can go back once again because now they're gonna do the what was it, Night Rain? I
Yeah.
think it was called.
Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be the next thing that we go into for Elden Ring once again
Hmm.
when we play that whenever that drops. I think that it was that quarter 2 of next
I
year.
think either March or May. I think it's coming up
Okay.
fast, quicker than we thought. I know it's yeah,
Let me see.
and yeah, it's basically what a co-op version of Elden Ring.
Of Elden Ring, basically, yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, Cantus King, thank you for the like, my friend. Welcome in. Yeah, let me see. Elden Ring, Night Rain. You might be right. Release date. The later half. Oh no, later half of 2025. So maybe yeah, somewhere
Okay.
between quarter 2 and probably quarter 3 that they'll
All right.
be dropping that in. So for people joining in on my TikTok side, we are just running a podcast, kind of just summarizing end of the year VGAs as this happened a couple weeks ago, and just our thoughts on gaming and games that we've been playing the last couple weeks. So um so
Had you,
yeah, how did you oh go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, how's the collecting going? Anything you added to your collection this year that you're kind of proud of, or?
Um
Well, I know we had the 2DCon earlier this year and
yes,
everything, so we got to meet
we did have 2D Con.
Resident Evil voice actors, which I got my 2 and 4 signed by the actors and everything, and
Yeah, and I also had my both of my cases for the voice actors for Claire and Leon
Mm-hmm.
signed for Resident Evil 2 and 4. So that was a fun experience. They're just wholesome people. It's kind of amazing when you meet like some of these voice actors or like anybody that's like in the gaming field, how they're just like they're normal.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
nothing.
It's
It's you know you look at them so high like oh man these are voice actors like they're so cool and everything like that. But then when you meet them, they're just like wholesome people. Like they're just
right.
doing what they like to do. So
Yeah. Especially
let
I
me.
think afterwards, I saw the voice actor Leon was uh waiting for a couple of his buddies, but they're in the board game area of the con.
Yep.
And so he's
Yep.
like, "Yeah, I'm waiting for some buddies. We're gonna play some board games." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I saw the Resident Evil room party, so he checked that out for a little bit." And so he's just like, "But yeah, it's." I'm wondering. They announced what the theme is for 25. Why can't I
Thank
remember?
you, Kansas. I appreciate that.
I gotta look and see. I know they have not announced the guest yet, but they announced the theme for 25. So be curious to see who they get as guests this year. If there's gonna be
Are you
some.
talking about for 2D Con?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
think
gotta I gotta keep up to date on that because this year coming up, I definitely want to go to a lot more cons this year.
because I think this is their 10th anniversary for 2DCon, from my
It
understanding.
is.
So I think they're gonna do something not, I won't say bigger, but maybe memorable. I think they're still gonna be at that hotel. I don't think they're moving hotels, which worked out I think just fine.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it
yeah.
was packed damn near every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Uh, how did you feel about the VGAs?
I think it was better this year. Last year
Okay.
was, I mean, I think last year was all right, but this year I think it was a lot more entertaining. I think they had a lot more good announcements of upcoming games and stuff like that. And I was really kind of glad that the surprise game of the year was not what people expected, that it would be a basic platformer like Astrobot would just, take out some heavy hitters.
Yeah,
Because I
for
think
sure.
Black Myth Wukong was one of them. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree was another one.
Yep.
Was it? I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was one of them too.
Yep.
And
And then
then
Metaphor and Bellataro,
yeah,
the rogue poker game.
right. And then
Yep.
here it is.
Metaphor.
Yep. And then
Metaphor.
Astrobot, this fun little love story to Sony, ends up winning Game of the Year, and it's just like,
Yep. And I kind of for a while was just like I obviously knew that Elden Ring wasn't going to win. That's what I wanted to win just because as a whole I just felt like Elden Ring was it just hasn't failed since the base game came out and then the expansion came out. So I'm like, dude, you guys are just doing so good. Just keep it up. But at the same time, kind of like what he said in his speech when he was talking about it, it's definitely going to shake things up, especially with like indie developers and like these newer games that's coming out because now they're starting to get like more creative with everything that they're doing. Like it can't be just cut and dry like your old copy and paste Call of Duty and stuff. Because even for the shooters, I'm surprised that like that didn't win anything
mm-hmm.
in its realm. So now that all these platformers and indie games are winning Game of the Year, I think that it, like he said, it will shake up the industry and start seeing more light coming to some of the smaller developers and just bigger companies taking bigger risks and trying to make something different because they know it'd be better off in the long run.
Yeah, because
Uh,
Bellataro was a complete indie game, and that thing kind of came out and won multiple
uh,
awards and everything,
yep.
and it was a small team too. Like I had,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, and it did very
Welcome
well.
in, Cookie Crumbler.
Cookie
And
Crumble.
then Cantus King asked, do you know what's going on or what's going to happen with Ubisoft? We didn't really hear much from Ubi. I think they're kind of in like a gray area right now, aren't they?
Um, I've heard
Or they're
rumors that they want to, like, they're owned by, aren't they owned by like a family? I think the family has majority share of the company. I think they want to try to sell it or something
okay.
like that. I don't know if like Tencent is interested in buying it or what, but I've heard rumors that they want to try to sell the company to someone else to probably has more financial backing, because I know
Okay.
they've had they took some risks this year, and some of the games they kind of had were hit or miss. Like,
Oh, there you go. Day and Spray just chimed in. He said, "Yeah, Tencent is gonna try to buy it."
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and so I guess like I mean, Star Wars Outlaws, I don't think it hit as well as they wanted,
It didn't. It's already on sale.
and they had that one game X Defiant, which is their free to play first person shooter, which I think they pulled already.
They did.
Um, and
They've been taking a lot of L's lately.
yeah, and I know Prince of Persia, the remake, was really well. They came out with an expansion, but I think that might have been just their only hit this year.
I
Really,
was gonna say I think that was their only hit because they lost a ton of money when they did Skull and Bones.
right?
That was their biggest L I think so far in Ubisoft history because it almost was Siege because Siege almost died and they did that whole Operation Health thing when I was playing it and it completely revamped the game and then it just was starting to shine with light and I played it a crap ton too but then when they came out with Skull and Bones I think they had shown that off maybe like 2 years prior to it actually releasing, like
Hmm.
showing like some trailers and stuff like that, and it just missed the mark completely. Like I don't think anybody enjoyed really what the core of the game was, like especially the combat. Like it's a cutscene. Why would you do that?
Well, and then
That was like my biggest gripe is like if you're a pirate, after you do the ship battles, which the ship battles looked good, but then once you do the ship battles and you go to board the ship to steal all the loot, it's a cutscene. Like you don't get to actually board the ship and do any of that. I'm like, you made Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Why did you not just copy and paste? Because you could do that in Black Flag. So I was just confused to why they didn't do that. So yeah,
yeah.
they've taken a lot of L's this year
Well,
and last year.
it's the other pirate game that is very popular right now is Sea of Thieves, and that's now on the PlayStation too. So it's on
I
PlayStation, Xbox, and
I play
PC.
that. Yeah, I play it on PC, but I cross play with people. That's probably the best pirate game of like in a whole
Hmm.
versus just like Black Flag because Black Flag is probably my favorite pirate game, but like in a whole like spectrum of it, definitely Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, it's stupid fun. It's that kind of cartoony
Yes.
graphics and the
Yep.
gameplay and just the fun of it. It's just yeah, and it's easy. It's just like everybody
Yeah.
has the same weapon damage. There's no armor or anything. It's just yeah,
Everything's just flat.
yeah, and I think that gives advantage to people. But yeah, and then like the sea combat's fun. You're like
Yep.
one person's like driving, the other person's trying to shoot this. Especially if you're trying to fight like skeleton ships and someone else joins you, and so you're like two against one or three against one. You're like,
Correct.
oh my god, just yeah. So
Yep. Yep. Kansas King said it the same thing. He said Assassin's Creed games lost their roots, in my opinion. 100%. I think their last game that was good in my opinion, was Black Flag, and then after that, they kind of took the Call of Duty approach, where they just started trying to toss them out as fast as they could, like once, sometimes even twice a year. It's just like, dude, you guys are not the same like what you used to be. Black Flag was like the peak, in my opinion. They tried to come back a little bit, and they made Assassin's Creed Origins.
hmm.
I played it, I platinumed it. That was a fun game, but then they did it again. Like they jumped ship from what made that one good, and then went to this other scheme of just the same grind, the same thing of like the older Assassin's Creed. I'm like, that's not what made you good. Like you have to go back to your roots, and if you don't want to do that, I say just stop the whole IP and just start something different at this point. But
Yeah,
Tencent's about to try to buy them, so go for Tencent.
I was waiting for like Microsoft to swoop in back. Yeah, Microsoft bought Ubisoft. I was like, wow,
I
it's getting
honestly, if
everybody.
they was to swoop in and buy that, I think Sony would then be in trouble because Sony does got a lot of AAA first party studios, but that last acquisition of the year when they were buying all those companies up, they got some heavy hitters now. And behind Microsoft, they can do some damage. So,
Yeah, especially Black Ops. Like,
yes.
and they're saying
Yep.
Black Ops 6 was a really good launch and release and everything, and so I'm sure Microsoft's making its money back through Black Ops 6 for how much they spent on that acquisition and everything.
Indeed. I agree with that. Let me see. What else was big about the did you see anything that caught you off guard or that you were super excited for? I got a couple that I'm excited for.
Um,
But I'll let you go.
yeah, like I guess like I know we could probably briefly talk about Concord, how that came and went like a flash in the pan. Just like
Freaking Thanos snap.
yeah, just like they advertised it, and I'm kind of like, okay, what is this game? They showed off some like
Oh yeah,
wicked
you'll be looking forward to that.
game trailer that you're like, okay, that seems interesting. But then it was another arena shooter that like the market's already saturated with that stuff. So like to come in there and try to take a piece of that pie, it's like what makes you different than the other arena shooters? And then,
You have to be unique if you're doing an arena shooter nowadays.
right. And I think that's why Marvel Rivals is doing better. It's because we're an arena shooter, but it's like you're playing as Marvel characters. You got a
Right.
team up and stuff like that. So
Yep.
I don't think Concord even
Kansas
did that.
Kansas King said he's excited for, which I think you were excited for this as well, and so is Day and Spray, Gears of War E Day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if
Indeed,
that's coming out in
gonna be fun.
25, but yeah, I'm
Is
waiting.
that in Let me see.
I mean, all I know is they did the announcement, but I have no idea if they even announced like a year if it actually is in 25. That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Sooner than later.
Oh shit, next year.
Okay.
They said they're expecting it sometime around September or early October.
I think that's when the last Gears of War launch was about September, October time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like around the end of summer, fall. So
Nice. Yeah, that's going to be a heavy hitter because that was one of the few games I played on Xbox. Like Gears of War was definitely my time. That and like Halo,
mm-hmm.
Fable. Yeah,
That's coming out
those
next year too. I believe the new Fable is coming out
the
next year
new
as well.
Fable. Yep. So you got that. Anything that took me off surprise? I think the one that really shocked me the most was definitely Naughty Dog.
Oh
And
yes.
we kind of talked about that at work because if you guys don't know, I love Last of Us. Like I played through and through one, then I did the remaster, got the platinum for that one. Played number two. I haven't played the remaster yet of number two, but it is on my list. But when they announced that they were like stopping the whole project for um I want to call it a
Factions.
battle royale. Yeah, their faction. It was supposed to
Right.
be a standalone multiplayer game,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Holy crap, this is going to be heat!" Like, because the multiplayer alone was good, which I have to actually re-download or download it and upload it. One of my first videos I've ever posted online was Fortnite, and then my second one was actually this crazy clutch that I had on Last of Us, where it was like me and I beat like 7 people to win the round. Super
Nice.
good game. But when they canned all that stuff and then they released that they were working on Intergalactic,
Mm-hmm.
and I was scared at first because I'm like, what is this? But then when I seen the trailer, as you know, I watched the anime and stuff like that. I was like, dude, that looks like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And then I found out they pull inspiration from Cowboy Bebop and Akira. I'm like, oh, this game is probably going to be freaking goated. So I have high hopes for it. Naughty Dog has never failed me yet. I don't think they will with this one. So I'm looking forward to that and Onimusha.
Mm. Yes.
Onimusha was the other one because I think a lot of people were waiting for Onimusha like for a long time. So not just a remaster. This is all. I don't know if this is a reboot because they didn't show much, but we know for sure it's an Onimusha game. So
Yeah. Yeah. The trailer was kind of like, okay, what am I looking at? Let's see.
I thought it was Sekiro to be honest because like it showed the arm at first and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
looked like his arm, but then when you seen the jewel in his hand, I'm like, oh yeah, that is Onimusha.
Because another thing, like, I mean, also like I know they announced Ghost of Yotai.
Oh, another great game that's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing
Like
when
I
it
thought
comes out.
Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. Now it's Ghost of Yotai, and
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, oh, okay, let's do that. Oh, so Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to be coming out in 25.
Is it
Uh,
really?
that's the anticipated. We're not
Okay.
100% sure. Hades 2 is supposed to be coming out.
I will be playing Hades too.
There's a people are thinking Marvel's Wolverine.
I saw some leaked gameplay of that. That actually looks pretty good too. Especially on
Uh,
top of the Marvel Rivals coming out too. So yeah.
yeah, and then Microsoft's RPG Avowed is supposed to be coming out as also in 25. So
Okay. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Fragpunk be also coming out here in March, I think. That hero shooter with
hmm
the cards. Yeah, that'll be coming out in March, and it'll be on Xbox and PC. So yeah, good, very very good things. I think not last year, but the year before, because that's what they called the golden age of gaming, right? Last year, not last year, but the year before that.
23.
Yeah, wasn't that the one where it was like all the damn games came out, like Zelda?
Yeah.
I think that's when Elden Ring dropped.
Yep. I think. Crap. What else was there?
There were so many games.
Right.
There was a
Yeah.
lot. What do you think of 343 Industries rebranding themselves as Halo Industries?
Oh, I can talk about that one.
There you go. Take it away, 117.
Yes, that's why. No, I think it's actually a really good thing because 343 is kind of. I think when people see that now, they think like they've tainted the Halo franchise, especially with. I mean, Halo 4 wasn't bad, but then Halo 5 comes along, and people are like, "This is garbage," and then they brought out Infinite, which people enjoyed, but it wasn't the praise or love that they thought they'd get and everything. So, and then of course they just the debacle of Halo Infinite being a live service and them just not rolling out enough updates and just taking forever. People lost interest. So when they got rid of a lot of the studio heads and reshuffled everything, I think that's a good sign. The guy that now is running it it did very well fixing Halo Master Chief Collection, which was just again another debacle that 343 fumbled. So I think them rebrand themselves to Halo Studios, trying to move away from 343 is a good step and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have high hopes that, and them also moving to Unreal Engine 5. I think that's also a smart move because you think in the industry now, a lot of people have experience with Unreal Engine and everything. So hiring people to come on your team that already know Unreal, you can hit the ground running and not to spend like 3-6 months trying to get them up to speed on your engine, and then they're only there for like another 3 months before they're gone. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think Halo's going to go anywhere. I just think they really need to take a step back and not just try to not say like follow the trend, but keep doing what made the original trilogy great. It was mostly story, and I think they fell up. That was what kind of fell apart. Is like their story just went out. You're like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain 4 or 5 and Infinite story. It's like, okay, first we're going after the Reclaimer saga, and then suddenly, nope, it's the Banish. It's like, well, what the hell?
Yeah,
yeah. At least with the first trilogy, it's like it went full circle with taking out the Halo, then the Flood, and then you team up with the Arbiter to take out the Prophets and stuff like that, and realizing that they were all lies and just So yeah, I mean, hopefully that answers the guy's question. That I think them rebranding Halo Studios is a good step in the right direction. I hope that the new studio head is going to steer the ship right, and that we'll finally see Halo probably come back to its former glory of, when the game drops, everybody's like hyped for it and everything.
Yeah. Hell, and I think you said this too, and Phil, and then Cantus King just said it too. He said, well, first he said he thought the last good Halo was reached, to be honest, in his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, I feel they started building games towards their to the store's multiplayer, then focusing on story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody played like early on before multiplayer became big, because it used to just be local play.
Yeah.
Before it got multiplayer, like story of Halo was like why people got to it, and then the multiplayer came out, and the multiplayer was also really good. So it's kind of, I feel like they kind of did the exact same thing they did to like Assassin's Creed. It was just like they went so far ahead trying to keep up with like what people wanted, but for a game in a studio like them, what made them great, that's what they should have stuck to. It's just sticking to their roots.
That's what made me fall in love with the Halo franchise, was the story.
Right.
Multiplayer, like you say, was just another bonus and icing on top. But I
Yes.
love the campaign and story and just how it was told and the characters flushed out. And yeah, like Reach was one of their better games, like compared
Yes.
to
100%.
like 3 and 2. Like no, I mean Bungie knew what they were doing when it came to the Halo franchise. It's just unfortunate that um, Microsoft kept milking that cow, and they're like, we don't want to do this to be known as Halo Studios. We want to do other stuff. And Microsoft's like, well, no, and they're like, fine, then
Right.
we want to go, and they're like, okay, fine. So,
Hmm.
but as long as Xbox stays around, I think Halo will be around
Oh,
and
always.
everything. So,
Yeah.
will it ever go multi-platform? Like, will it live on PlayStation? I mean, it's possible down the road. Um,
Hmm.
that maybe the new game they're coming out that way, which would be even like I don't know. Being a Halo fan, Xbox fan, it's I guess we'll see how it goes. But like I'm kind of like a little indifferent. Like I don't want to see it go on PlayStation, but at the same time, I understand that they have a business to run, and if it
Hmm.
goes on a platform that has twice as many uh, consoles out there than their one, and I wonder the people that own a PlayStation that don't have an Xbox that Halo goes out and I can see them picking it up and being like, oh yeah,
Right.
I could play Halo on my PlayStation now, and then it's yeah, just kind of like what they're
Yeah.
doing right now with Sea of Thieves, Grounded. What else did they release for PlayStation?
I
But
think
still,
I agree with you because I think there it's probably on the docket to eventually put over to PlayStation, but I think right now Halo is like Xbox, like Microsoft. Like it's one of the games that if you think of a Xbox, you think of Halo, like
mm-hmm.
almost immediately. You know what I mean? So I think maybe eventually, like you said, because they're already starting to release more stuff on PlayStation, that maybe Halo would come to PlayStation eventually. Because at the end of the day, I mean, they want money, and they know they're going to get it because selling the licenses and then being able to do the crossplay. They're going to have so many avenues of just revenue for having all this stuff. So I think that's in the future. I know a lot of people were speculating that it might happen sooner than later, but I think it's going to happen later. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon
Well, it's
if they
also
put Halo over.
like Microsoft's business model is like, okay, well, if we can't beat you in hardware sales, we'll just beat you in software sales. And now that Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, like now they're like one of the top 2 or 3 publishers in the world. So like 5 out of 10 games that are being sold on the PlayStation, Microsoft owns, has a piece of that. So like
Yeah.
Sony's making money, but at the same time they turn around, they have to give that money back to Microsoft. So it's kind of like another way of Microsoft kind of like jabbing at Sony, kind of like, well, you may outsell our consoles, but we're still making money off you guys anyway by our games playing on your system and people are buying it. And Sony's kind of like, well, like they're like, okay, like, do we like? I don't know if they expected that. I don't think they expected Microsoft to kind of like do that and everything. And now with the Switch
I,
2 coming out, they're talking about
yeah,
putting
I don't
stuff on
think
there.
they did. Yeah, I don't think they did either. I think Microsoft or Sony has been always so uh kind of like stuck in their ways because I think sales wise they've been on top since after the revamp of PS3, right? Because PS4 was, I think they had better sales than the 360, right?
Yeah, so yes, PS4 did outsell the Xbox One like 2 to 1. But yeah, the
And then
last great console race was between 360 and PS3. I think that was like neck and neck.
yeah, and then you got the five, which just killed the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things. I think that they'll definitely still be around. Sony wasn't prepared for it, so they're definitely going to have to dig in the bag a little bit. And I think they're taking the right steps with some of the stuff that they're already doing. I mean, look at Astrobot, um, with some of these developers like Naughty Dog, and then you have who's another big prominent one.
Like Santa Monica Studios with God of
There you
War.
go with God of War series. Now, hot take on that one. I do feel that they do need to steer away from Kratos. He's been in the game now for the longest, and I honestly was prepared. Spoiler alert: if you ever played it, blank this out if you don't want to hear it. But towards the end, when they showed the little scene of him possibly, dying,
Mm-hmm.
I was prepping myself for that. I thought that would have been really good storytelling, considering that they added like 4 new characters, I think, into the story. You had a son, you had Freya, then you had
Agraboga, which is the female giant that he came across.
yeah, and there was one more other person, but you added all these characters, and I'm just like, obviously they're not overshadowing Kratos, but it's just like you're obviously making these new avenues to where you can follow these stories of all these other people.
Mm-hmm.
Kratos has already put in his time. I mean, we've seen him as when he was just a freaking Spartan soldier all the way up to now, and it's just like you've been through a lot. Like for him to have sacrificed himself towards the end like that, and then to save like what was it called? Not
Midgar?
Fenrir. Yeah,
Oh,
Midgar
well, yeah,
from the winter. It's just like that would have been good storytelling in my opinion. But now I'm seeing fans and like speculations of people just like, what are we doing? Like a lot of people are kind of like 50-50 right now with where the series is going because everyone thought, like me included, that Kratos was gonna die,
I thought
and
so too.
he didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
and
so
he
too.
didn't. So
I was kind of glad he didn't because I was like, sweet. Because I like this new iteration of Kratos with the voice actor. I think he's doing a great job, especially the whole boy. Like, I just loved
right.
him now. Boy. Everything is just like, boy,
I still need to find a compilation to see if someone did that, where how many times he called his son boy.
boy. I bet you someone
How,
did. I bet you it's
I'm
out
pretty
there.
sure.
But
How do you feel they did with the Gears franchise? Do you think it will help Xbox out? Another studio, the Coalition, taking over Gears of War from Epic Games.
uh,
Oh, is that? Yeah.
yeah.
You want to answer that one too?
Um, there you can tell there is a difference between Epic when they did the first 3, and then Coalition taking over when they did 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Epic, the story was a little bit tighter. I believe it was more focused. Another thing that Epic did better that Coalition didn't do was it kind of had a little bit more like horror aspect of the why can't I think of the name of the enemy? Locust. There we go. The Locust.
Oh, and Gears, yeah, the Locust.
Yeah, the first 3 games they kind of made a little bit more horror aspect, like you're not sure of the locusts, um, especially as each game they evolved into different variations and stuff like that. 4 they kind of focused more on the family of like JD
Mm-hmm.
and Marcus Phoenix, which and 5, I mean, I thought 5 gameplay was really solid. The story was decent. They kind of opened it up a little bit more, where you can kind of it wasn't so linear. There was a little bit more like you had more room to kind of like in God of War 2018, you had more room to kind of run around and do other stuff and not just kind of go from point A to point B. But it looks like this E-Day thing. It looks like now Coalition's going back to that more horror aspect that made Gears, the first Gears, great. Was no one knows what the locusts were. They just appeared out of nowhere, and they're these terrifying beasts that actually lived underground, and that this,
Mm-hmm.
Sierra, the population had no idea they were there. I think if they go a little bit more horror aspect in terms of, I think that'll make E-Day a lot better. And if they keep the gameplay with that and just, make the locust kind of a little bit more unknown, especially this one. They're like, I have no idea what I'm going up against. Who are these? Like, what's that? Like, how can I, especially now with Coalition being a such Unreal Engine studio, like, I know they'll do well with the graphics in the game to the point where it's going to be like, God damn, this is like movie quality, like graphics.
I was gonna say because it's Unreal, man. Unreal makes a good engine.
So I do have high hopes that Coalition is gonna
Welcome in, King Rito.
we're moving in the good direction. So I especially since the E-Day trailer hyped a lot of people and
Mm-hmm.
everything, I think people are like, okay, I think this is going to be good for the franchise too. Because I know with 4 it was mixed reviews. 5 was again mixed reviews. People loved it. People hated it. People are like, yeah, it's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just, I mean, that's the hard thing about being these franchises. Like, how do you keep the franchise engaged, but not keep doing the same song and dance each game
Mm-hmm.
and everything? How do you kind of introduce new stuff? How do you expand the story? And it's like, look at franchises like Mario or Zelda. Like, it seems like every Mario game that comes out, it's kind of like similar to what it was before, but for some reason, people just love it. Like, they do a little bit tweaks here and there. But
Hmm.
overall, it's still the same kind of platforming thing, and people are just like, it's the greatest game this year. Like, it's so much fun. Like, and all they
Right.
really do is just do some switching up around in the thing, maybe change a little bit of the characters. And it's like Super Mario Wonder. It was again platforming game, but they introduced new power ups, and everybody's like, "This game's so much fun," and it was. Like,
Right.
I don't know how Nintendo does it, but they just
Yo, what's up with you?
like, Mario has been around since like the dawn of video games. It seems like, and he's
Hmm.
always a big seller. Like they have
Yeah.
not bring out a Mario game that's been like, oh, this game's garbage. Just like you think of
Yeah.
Mario Kart, like good God, that thing's just kicking ass.
He said, yeah, that's what he's looking forward to. I got to talk to John Diamago a little bit about it at GalaxyCon.
Mm.
He really thinks it will help bring back the old feeling from the original three.
Yeah, I know
and
that.
and that's what brought me to the Gears franchise anyway. Like I love the first three games. Like Day and Spray, me and
Mm-hmm.
him, like he got me into Gears, and then from there it was just like all
Oh, yeah,
history, man.
trigger.
Like Gears 1 through 3 was just amazing. Voice actor from that plays Marcus Phoenix. Okay.
Give me a second. I gotta put on my sweatshirt.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I do agree with you. It's a very fine line. I think that oh, no worries. I think that a lot of the companies, especially after the VGAs, they have to figure. Well, for one, they have to figure out what their audience is looking for. But then I also think that they have to find a really like green lining or silver lining between like what the fans want, but what you know will work for the video games. Because like you get people like again bringing back up like Assassin's Creed, they're not listening to the community whatsoever. Like they are just dropping the ball on everything. So they're just like going deeper into the hole. But then you got the flip side of this where you got a company like uh Helldivers, where they were listening too much to the community, trying to fix all these damn like, oh, this needs to be nerfed, this needs to be nerfed, this needs to be buffed, this needs to be buffed, and they were trying to do all that when they should have just stuck to their guns because everything was working when the game first dropped. Like you have to do little, minuscule tweaks here and there, but like you can't just go full bore into doing everything that like the community wants because some of that stuff don't work and they don't know what they're talking about. They
Mm-hmm.
just want it because it works for them, but that's not how business works. So how many other crazy events are gonna happen before we get GTA 6? Man, too many.
Uh,
we might have a doomsday disaster coming in before GTA 6 comes out.
well, I mean, everybody's all hyped about Elder Scrolls 6. Like, I mean, they announced it, but we have no idea when it's coming out. We have no idea
Yeah.
what if it's going to be an Xbox exclusive now or what. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, there's games that are being announced. Like, I know there's the new Doom game, the Dark Age. You
Hmm.
saw that trailer? Like,
Hmm.
that looks like it's going to be a good fun for the franchise. Did you ever play Doom Eternal?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot
Yep.
of fun, and the DLC. I mean, good god damn, that DLC was tough. It's like, God, I remember missions. You're just 45-minute battles. Everything's just coming at you. You're just fast
Yep.
paced. But it's, I mean, some franchises like when they reboot it, like when they did God of War 2018, they took it in a different direction, which actually worked for it
Correct.
compared to following the same like button mashing that we saw on the
Hmm.
PlayStation 2 and everything. So, and
Yep.
then I think not only that, but the story. I think what got people to play the game was not only the gameplay, but I think everybody just is like, you gotta play this game for the story, and it's just amazing
Right.
how deep that story was and everything.
Hmm.
And so, which I prefer games with stories. I think that's what I enjoy overall is the story, then gameplay, then music, then graphics. Like you, if you have a game that has a great story, does it matter if it's 16-bit graphics or if it's 3D?
For some, it do. Unfortunately,
It is, and um,
they're missing out on beauty because like there's a lot of those games. I mean, take a look at Bellataro.
mm-hmm,
Look how many awards it won, and that's definitely not like new gen graphics. That is like some rogue retro style poker
mm-hmm,
game, and it worked just fine. I think it took home 3 or 4
yeah,
awards.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, so it's just like I think you got to be creative. Like unless you're like this really big AAA game that has solid storytelling, and even still, then you just got to know when to move directions. Like I feel like you said, perfect example would have been like God of War, because like if they would have rebooted the series with that same aesthetics, there's a bunch of other games just like that already. That's hack and slash. Granted, yes, it's God of War, but still, it would have lost some of that feeling that you felt when you seen the new one. Like when you
Hmm.
seen the new one, you're like, wait, this is God of War, but this is not God of War. You know what I mean? Like this is something completely different. And then his character arc and everything like that, like that's what they need. They need to like sit down at the drawing board and really think about some of these games they're bringing out and how to do it in a impactful way that will make the franchise just continue on down the road if you're planning to move that along in the years to come, you know.
Well, I mean,
So
they
Gears is, I think, going in the right direction with doing E-Day.
well then we look at Capcom when they remade Resident Evil 2 and 3, like they kind of changed
Oh, they,
the way around
yeah,
for that too. They went off the whole like tank controls and went, third person.
over the
And
shoulder. Yep,
yeah, and I think that just worked wonderful for that game. I think
yep.
that made the game much better. And then just the whole ambience of, I thought 2 was a lot more scarier than 3
Hmm.
and everything, just the way they did stuff. And then 4, I thought that was just an amazing game. And I know they changed a little bit of the story
Yep.
from what it originally was, but overall, I think it worked great. And I think Capcom's got this like recipe for remakes that people are like, "Hey, where's the next one? Where's the next one?" And I mean, I heard that Resident Evil Zero may be on the dock. I even heard Code Veronica maybe
Yep.
getting the remake treatment, which would be great. And then I don't know if they're going to finish up the series with just 9 and be done with Resident Evil, or if we're just going to keep getting something different. Like, I mean, that's a cash cow for Capcom. Like, I
I
don't see them
wouldn't.
putting it out to pasture and be like, we're done.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue the story, but I would almost like it where I think because in Japan they call it Biohazard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not called Resident Evil.
Yep.
I would almost like it to adopt that name because where they're going now, like if in my mind, when I think of Resident Evil, I think of the older ones. Like you're in the mansion, you're like in a little city,
Mm-hmm.
you're like in a complex. But when they moved out of 4 and did like 5, 6, and 7, all those were like way different areas. You weren't fighting like zombies anymore. You were literally fighting like bioengineered like monsters. So I'm like, I think with 7 in that direction, the direction of the game I love. Like I love the story where it's going now. They're doing a really good job there. I just think that with 9, some of the characters should probably get ready to start to retire because some of them are getting old, Chris included. And I think that they should kind of leave it to like the younger group and even still include like Rose. And they should, I think, me personally, they should start calling it Biohazard because again, there is no longer zombies. Like you're not dealing with zombies anymore. Like hell, you wasn't even really dealing with zombies when you were playing in like 2 and 3. Like you were dealing with like these huge bioengineered snakes and spiders and plant creatures. So it's just like I think Biohazard would be a good switch for them where it'll broaden the scope of what you think Resident Evil could be, rather than just zombies. Because initially you say Resident Evil to most people, they're going to think zombies, but
Yeah.
it's like they haven't been zombies since I think since number 2.
Yeah, I know they kind of. Yeah, 3. Like, yeah, 3. I think they kind of started going off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Because there used to be like zombie people, then you had the zombie dogs, and then you had like the hunters
mm-hmm.
that were kind of like basically humans that were morphed like even further than just a zombie. So it's just like I get all of that, but then when you start doing like the giant anaconda, and then you got Nemesis, and then you got Mr. X, and then you had like the giant like the Lost Plagas and all that. Like you moved further and further away from zombies and went more towards monsters. So I think Biohazard would be a better fit for them after 9. I think 9 should wrap up the story of the Winters
Mm-hmm.
because right now that's who they're basically focused in on, with the main characters being like Rose, Chris Redfield, a little bit of Jill and Leon. And now those two characters are supposed to be the main characters in number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Jill Valentine and Leon are supposed to be the new ones, with supporting being Chris, and has to be Rose because I mean she has power, so she can't get rid of that. So
Right.
yeah. So
Actually, that's
I think
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say.
no,
I
go
think I
ahead.
have something I was gonna show you. I think I know where it is. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Something I'm gonna find.
I want another Mass Effect game, but they dropped the ball hard with Andromeda. Yeah, I agree with you there. Um, I just got deeper into playing the trilogy because it was one of the free games for PlayStation. So it's all kind of new for me because I did not play Mass Effect starting out. So I love it all so far. But I do agree with you. I've heard the reviews about Andromeda, and again, it's just one of those things where I think that one of the worst things that's happening in today's gaming industry is that games are being made so freaking fast. They're not. They said this at the VGAs, and I actually kind of agree with her. Remember the days back when like one of your favorite games were dropping that year? It damn near took you like half the year or the year to finish that game, and by the time you finally finished it, your new game was dropping that you wanted to get. That is like completely obsolete now. Now you get like somewhere between like 30 and 50 games a year, and you try not to get like this huge backlog. Like me personally, I try not to go over like 3 or 4 games that I play, so that way I know I can finish them before jumping to something else. Otherwise, you're just constantly jumping from game to game. So, um, I do agree that they should do something else with the Mass Effect series. It's a great game, good story, and I wish they would slow down on some of these games and stop listening to these damn community people, man, because they community don't know what the hell they talk about. Let them cook. They know what they're doing. That's what they're in the business for. I recommend a high Paragon playthrough for the first time playing the story to get most of the story. Okay, duly noted. I appreciate that.
Well, I thought I bought it, but apparently I forgot. But I was just gonna show you. I found it's Dino Crisis, but it's the Japanese version on PlayStation,
Oh shoot,
and it's actually still intact, brand new.
intact. Yeah, that's crazy. Look,
So
look how wide the cases used to be.
I know they're but then they came with these like little like paper inserts on it and everything. So,
Hmm.
but no, I saw like Code Veronica, the Japanese one. I found like the original like 2 and 3, and I was like, oh, I should grab those. But then I guess I did it. I guess that's so I was
Hmm.
going to show that. I've been like, but I'll find them someday.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so
Okay. Um, let's see. I think we covered most of the VGAs.
hmm
We got to see Flute Guy.
yep.
There's no way you can't see Flute Guy. If you don't see Flute Guy, something's wrong. Always watch Flute Guy. Um,
I guess
games
one.
coming out.
I know we could probably touch base on how the PS5 Pro was released this year and everything, and how
Oh yeah. Yep.
people's opinions about that. Like a lot of people I've talked to, like I know I have one. Uh, Geiger's got one. Steven's got
Yep.
one. Two, I think's got three, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
buys
he
them.
does got
But
three.
a lot of people out there are kind of like, I don't see the huge difference in terms of like paying $700 for a pro system where the game runs just as fine. Like if I don't
Hmm.
like, and so some people are kind of like, if you have a base PS5, it's like not worth upgrading and everything. And
Right.
so and yeah, like I played Helldivers 2 last night on my Pro, and I was able to switch from performance to quality, and I was able to still, I think, have 60 frames on it, which was great. But
Hmm.
other games, like, I have not really noticed any difference in terms of like graphics. Performance has been nice, but yeah, if it ran fine on the PS5,
Well,
then
yeah, I'll piggyback off that because I agree with you because I was really close to getting it literally last week because I was getting ready to trade mine in so I can get the pro. But then I just kept digging deeper and deeper into it, and basically what you said is my conclusion that I came to because it's just like one, most of the games I'm playing on my PS5 they already look good. especially now since I plan on my monitors instead of just like a bigger TV. Everything looks good. Everything looks crisp. The frame rates are good. Everything is fine the way it is. For me to get a Pro now, I feel like the only use for it is if you're playing any games that are PS3 or older. Because I feel like that's the market they're trying to hit is like all these games that people still play, trying to bring it back up so it looks good and it runs good on the PS5.
Hmm.
A lot of the newer games that people already play, like I think even Miles Morales got like a upgrade for the Pro version, but why? Like it was already good on the base PS5. Like it
Hmm.
ran fine, it looked good. I had it in quality mode, so it's just like nothing really changed for me, and I already had put a bigger storage in my base PS5. So I know they had put a better graphics card and a better CPU in it, but it's just like it wasn't enough for me to want to get the Pro like I normally would. Because I got the Pro day one for the PS3 and I got the Pro day one for the 4 because the changes to me were huge. But the change they did now is like, I don't know, going from like a GTX 420 to a 460. It's just like it wasn't that big of a gap, you know what I mean? For me
Hmm.
personally. But if you never had a PS5 or, you know, maybe your 5 was going out or something like that, maybe I can then see a reason to want to do it. But like my PS5 is fine. I keep it clean. I just cleaned it this morning, so it's just like it's quiet again. So it's just like it. I don't know. Just take care of it, and you should be fine until till then. So
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's also me being a collector. Like when a new
yeah,
console comes out, I'm just kind of like, oh god, now you guys did it to me. Like I want that. Like almost in
yeah,
the terms of like I don't need it, but I want it to my collection.
hmm
Like I bought the special edition Switch for the Tears of the Kingdom. I already
hmm
have a Switch, and but yet I wanted the collectors of it being the Tears of the Kingdom edition and stuff like
yep,
that. So I guess maybe that's kind of like the thing about being a collector is like I don't need it, but I want it, and um, especially
indeed,
get it now than later because who knows when you'll find it or if you're able to. Like,
right.
but still, yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
in a whole, I think it still did justice for them because there's still plenty of people that bought it. But I think it's the people that actually sat down for a minute and like contemplated and looked at what they were getting for what they were about to pay for.
Hmm.
Because that was my thing. Even some of the people that I follow and or I watch stream, even they were doing comparisons to like some of the favorite games that they're playing. They're just like, man, like there was no difference. So it was just like, was it worth it? No. It was like I got more no's than I did yeses, but I think it was more preference. Like, did you need one? Then get one. If you didn't need one, you're okay without it.
Yeah,
Um, Cantus King was asking. I don't know if you seen it. Did you see the Fallout series?
I did.
You did.
Yep.
So he was asking, did you talk about Fallout season two? I didn't. I did not. We did not talk about that.
No, and did The Last of Us come out this year too, or is it last year? Was it? Maybe it was
I
last year.
think that was last year for season two. Pretty sure.
Um. Okay, yeah,
But
maybe
I
it
love
was.
the Fallout series. Just by the way, I can't wait for season two.
No, they did a really good job.
They
I
did
mean,
a really good job.
they followed the kind of like the recipe for like what the game made it unique
Yep.
and everything, and then they had an original story, which was nice to see.
Added their
Um,
own flair to it. Yeah. So
yeah.
they were walking a really fine line between trying to keep the game because obviously like we played the game first.
Hmm.
So the moment you were going to say something like about the stories, like we would have been looking like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Like we know, but they did it so well with keeping it to the core of the community, the gaming community, and then throwing it to new people that have never even heard about the series, grasping that story to bring them in. And I'm just like the way they did like even the first couple episodes when it was telling about the stories from who was it? The young lady's name in the vault.
Oh yeah.
I forget her name, but basically
Hmm.
they how they did the story about the vault, and then midway through that, when they jumped ship straight over to the Brotherhood of Steel,
Mm-hmm.
and then they jumped over to the last guy, which has one of my favorite quotes of that whole show so far, when he says, "We do this for the love of the game." That guy,
The
the
Ghoul.
ghoul,
The
the
Ghoul.
ghoul. I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, that is one of my favorite quotes when he said that. But I'm just like, they did that all within one span of the episode, so it automatically threw you in to what to expect from the story. And they gave you these 3 different lines, and then somehow midway through this chapter, you start to see them all tune into each other, and then they all meet at the end, and now you set it up for season 2. And I'm just like, very well done. They did a good job there.
Well, yeah, and then throwing a little bit of the history of the vaults being created, kind of what
Mm-hmm.
caused the nuclear fallout, and a little bit of the twist of how I know it's I don't know if spoiler alert people if you haven't seen it, but like how the founders found a way to basically like cryogenic the Sims to wake up,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept
Yep.
saying like when in doubt go to vault like 43 or something like that. There's that quote,
Mm-hmm.
and find out that 43 was all the executives or rich people that pay to survive, and they bring brought out when they need to
Yep.
vitalize that vault and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Yep.
no, I'm excited for the second season. I'm excited for The Last of Us Part Two second season. Trying to think what else game wise has been released. Media wise, I mean, I watched Secret Level, a few episodes of that.
So 2 ones that I need to start watching: Arcane, because
Mm-hmm.
I heard really good things about that, and I found out that is on Amazon Prime, so I'll be watching that. But then I don't know if you've seen the not the reviews, the post about Henry Cavill greenlighting Warhammer.
I heard about that, Ev. Yeah, I've heard about
Yeah,
him doing live
yeah. So
action. So,
I mean, he's just a big nerd for that lore. He knows so much about the series, and I know he's going to bring that one home. I
mm-hmm.
mean, he still plays it now. Like, I think he's got like 3 maxed out characters already, man. Like that man's just a nerd just like us, and I'm just like, holy crap, he really loves Warhammer though.
It's
So
funny how in interviews for like stuff, and someone asks a question, he
yeah,
just goes
nerd
off
out.
on it, and then all the women next to him are just kind of like, oh my god, just let me go home. But then at the same time, it's like he's king of the nerds, ladies. Like,
He's a guy, man. At the end of the day, we love our toys, bro.
yeah,
That's all it is. So yeah, that I think Arcana I need to watch. And then I can't wait for the Warhammer
mm-hmm.
universe to start up. So that should be good. And then I actually heard good things about the new X-Men reboot.
Oh yeah,
I heard some good stuff about that too. I didn't even really know about it until I was playing Marvel Rivals, and one of my buddies who I squad with was telling me about it, that they rebooted like the original like 90 series. And I'm
97
like,
X-Men 97. Yeah, it's really
oh,
good.
there you go. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the
So,
story was it was interesting. It's not your typical Saturday morning cartoon. They kind of did go a little bit more darker this time around,
okay.
which I think helped the story and I think kept people engaged. So I don't think they're trying to introduce it to a younger generation. I think they're trying to cater to like our generation that grew up watching it, and kind of
I
like we're
see.
continuing story, but we're kind of making it a little bit more
Yes.
darker, a little bit more that adults can be engaged with, not like, oh, this is some silly cartoon. So
Okay. Where is that streaming on? Do you know?
a Disney Plus.
Awesome. I might have to get Disney Plus now, man. Damn it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we covered all of that, all the Game Award stuff.
Games coming out in 25, I believe. We kind of touched on that. We talked a little bit about
on that.
24 and what games were great this year, and what hit or misses and stuff that but it is, I mean, I guess looking into 25, like I do see some heavy hitters coming out that I am looking forward to. I'm just hoping that that's not the year that the market gets saturated, where it's like every month a heavy hitter comes out and you're just like, oh, I started this game, then I started this game, then I started this game.
I literally said that right as you were going to put on your hoodie.
Oh yeah,
I was just talking about, like, because she said it at the Video Game Awards, just like, back in the day, you could play one game and knew that once that was done, you would have another one after that.
Mm-hmm.
This time is like the moment you get that game, like 5 other games have come out, and it's just like you just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Like if you're working adult and doing multiple things, like you got very short time frame where you can do all these things and play all these different games. So I have to limit myself, or otherwise I'll have a backlog as long as a freaking library.
Oh, you can see there's my backlogs right there, and there's still some over there that. And then like I picked up more games again. Like I'm always out there finding new stuff to buy and play, and it's just like.
Mhm.
When will I find time doing it? It's like that's my retirement goal right there. It's just when I retire, it's like I am gonna. If streaming's still around and I'm still streaming, that'll be it. I'm going through my backlog of games of just as a
Right.
65-year-old man who's competing with all these other youngins and streaming. But
Who just do it as a part time through middle school and high school, and then just bloop, take off.
yep, just playing games that these kids had no idea ever existed or what it was. But yeah,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
that'd be my goal, retirement
Okay.
goal. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we did cover a lot. So
We
Uh,
did. Considering it took us the first like hour to get
Mhm.
this all set up, then yeah, it all turned out for the best, I think. What's next on the docket for you for next pod or next big thing happening to wrap up the year or lead into the new year?
Yeah, next episode for podcast. Like I'm always kind of thinking about new episodes and stuff like that, but at the same time things always change. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if we focus on a specific game, franchise. I know we kind of missed the whole horror games back in October. We kind of
Oh yeah,
Kept-
that was what I think we were trying. We were running into snags with our
Mhm.
equipment. Excuse me, with our
That-
equipment.
yeah, and scheduling. So
hmm
I don't know. I guess we could talk about it more. I mean, maybe yeah. So like games come up, like I do need to jump on an Indiana Jones: The Great Circle because I have it. I have not played it yet, but I think that'll be a fun one to get into. And then that might keep me busy for a little bit because I still have, of course, Outlast Trials with you. We can continue doing. I do have that new Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, for the Switch. So
Oh,
I got
yep,
a few
yep.
things to play till whatever big game comes out in the first quarter of 2025 within the first 3 months. Like,
Okay. Oh, welcome back, Hannah.
hey,
She heard Outlast. She came back. though.
yeah, I know. What? You're speaking my game.
I'm right with you there. I do have some games that I'm gonna be using to wrap up the end of the year and to take me into the new year until the big ones hit. So, Outlast, I need to finish that because I think I'm about halfway done with week 2 like challenges that you need to finish it up, and then I'll be done with it. Soul Reaver, I want to finish that up. At least finish up number 1 because I think the pack came with 1 and 2, so I want to at least finish up 1. And then I'm gonna pull 1 out of the vault from a Target sale that I got, either Dead Space, Jedi Survivor, or Stellar Blade. So
Mm.
I'm thinking I might pull out. It's between Jedi Survivor right now and Stellar Blade that I want to pull out. I'm gonna hold Dead Space off for a little bit because that one's gonna put me in. Since it's a horror game, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. And I got to be in the right mindset for a good horror game like that. So it's definitely gonna be between Stellar Blade and Jedi Survivor, so I can wrap up some of that story.
And both, yeah, I know both are good games. I've heard positive things for both of them. So
And it says play Grounded.
there you go. Yeah, get into Grounded. That sounds, yeah.
I have to add that to the list. How much is that game right now? I don't have my
Is it
thing open. Is it still full price?
$30, $40 maybe on PlayStation?
I think it's probably 40 on PS5. Let's see. $40.
Okay.
If you're a subscriber, you'll receive a 20% discount.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Well, something to think about.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I can get it on Xbox, of course. So,
Yeah,
it
and
should be
and I'm-
crossplay.
I think it is crossplay between consoles.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is
That'd be dumb if Microsoft didn't do that. Like, oh, we're releasing for PlayStation and Xbox. Nope.
right?
And I think it's
We would like to share with everyone that. Eh, that didn't. That didn't.
there's no
Uh,
answer.
no, the way they worded it on X was bad. It was. We would like to share with everyone that grounded on Steam, Xbox, and Windows Store do not have crossplay options as they are enabled by default. For
Oh,
PS4 and 5 and Switch players, you can opt in crossplay by going through the crossplay linking steps selected or located on the grounded Obsidian crossplay site. So are they saying yes? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
yeah, yeah. I guess you couldn't set up crossplay between Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. So, oh,
Oh, okay.
it's a
So it is crossplay.
yeah, it's a setting you have to enable saying crossplay, and that's where you can play. And then
Oh yeah, there it is.
you have
See, just
to,
go to
yeah,
Reddit. Reddit helped me.
yep.
Grounded is
So,
crossplay with any platform and is available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch players. Okay. Well, then I'll add that to the docket as well. Then Hannah, I know PS has the crossplay option. Okay. If you sign into a Microsoft email, which mine should be auto signed in, so I think I'm good there. Um, yeah. Okay. Are you playing anything tonight, Sir Phil?
uh, uh, I maybe tonight might be the night I start Indiana Jones. That might be, I think, a
Okay.
good start. Um, yeah,
Okay.
I feel like playing an adventure game, and I think that might
Mm-hmm.
be a good start because yeah, I played Helldivers 2 last night, and it was fun, but people are loud and just like
Obnoxious.
I think I played with two 12-year-olds, and so it was just like
It could get a little crazy. I know.
yeah, I know it was fun though, but still, it's just like yeah, maybe I'll just do an adventure single player game where I can kind of take my time and do what I want to. So
For sure. Hannah asks, when are we playing games today? So for me, generally on the weekend, I like to start somewhere between like 7 to 8 o'clock, and if the games are going good, I generally will just play until hell I start to nod out, I guess, or if I start just to sleep. So I will probably be playing either Outlast or Marvel's Rivals probably tonight. So I've been getting pretty good in Marvel Rivals with my set characters, and I want to try to tackle some competitive now that I got my group of people that I like to play. Um, cool beans. And then in Outlast Trials, I just want to try to finish up that winter event now that I've finished up Phasmophobia. So only thing, excuse me, the only thing I got left in Phasmophobia is the demon trophy, which is random unless you go into a lobby and tweak some settings to make it where you can just keep rinsing and repeating until you get one. But I'm just gonna let it come to me whenever I get it. So you need to finish Outlast too. Well, perfect. If you got some time, I'll be on Outlast, and yeah, we could probably play some of that. And of
hmm.
course, Phil, if you are around, I know you're playing Indiana Jones, but obviously you can join whenever you want to.
Oh yeah, maybe if if I do jump in, I'll see if you guys are still available. That might be fun
For sure.
to play. So cool.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Cool.
Any last words before we sign off for the day?
I don't know, man. Game on. Gaming is still definitely alive. I remember what was it last year or something like that. People thought like gaming was like slowly dying. I'm like, nah, dude. It's definitely still alive and going strong. A lot of good developers, especially indie developers. Always look out for indie developers, man.
Yep.
I've been streaming Phasmophobia a lot lately. It's a good game, man. I love Phasmophobia. Um, Also, for the people on TikTok, make sure you go and follow 117 on Twitch and TikTok. I think name on both sides, right? For
Yep.
both of those.
Yep.
And then same for me as well. Same name for TikTok is on Twitch. So take a follow for both of those. and I'm obsessed with Phasmophobia. See, it's all of the people that's on council, man. If you played it on PC, you understand what we've been playing. But now if you're on council, you're just starting to get your feet wet. So
Yeah.
Phasmophobia is a great game. You just gotta get that learning curve in, and once you get that, it's just a big, scary puzzle game. I'm in the same boat with you guys for sure. Yeah. So yeah, follow on Twitch and TikTok for both myself and 117. And last words for you, sir?
No, I think you said it perfectly. Follow us both. We'll be on Friday, Saturday nights, of course, playing games. I wonder if I can actually put a at in my title, so your name pops up in the title, like podcast with the Don Riches. I wonder if that could do something like that. I'll see if I can change the title to add you in there or tag you, so that way you're popped up. But
we could do that. I was even thinking maybe going on message me when you want to do LS. For sure, I will do. And thank you, Cantus King, for following both on both sides. I appreciate that. I was gonna say I was even thinking about maybe doing. I see a lot of people kind of do it, not all the time, but like they do like the little quick TikTok clip where it'd be like a quick 10 seconds where it'd be like, going live here doing this and such and such time, so then you can make a clip and you do that like maybe like once or twice a week. It's just a little clip of like 10 seconds where that way you'll get your community on that side to kind of join in and then cross between both Twitch and TikTok. So.
No, yeah, that would probably just utilize that, not just kind of go live and cross our fingers that people join us. So
for sure. Yes, sir. For sure. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for stopping in. Hannah, Day Spray, Cantus King. Enjoyed your time.
Cantus King, thank you. They followed me on TikTok, so thank you, Cantus King.
There you go. So thanks for everything, and then you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later. Keep gaming.
See ya.